I'm Scott Eding. I'm the chaplain to the employees, and I work on staff at the Village Church. So welcome to Village Church Connections. Today I want to address with you the topic of refocusing hope. I've relocated across the country from one state to another 9 different times. And pretty soon I referred to it whenever we were going to move. I called it uprooting because there's a part of it where you just feel like you're being pulled up and you have to let go of all kinds of connections, all kinds of things you've invested yourself in and people you've invested yourself in. And a part of that you're moving away from. And then you get somewhere else and you have to sort of put roots down and start fresh and start all over again. That happens a lot to us in life. I would say one of the most challenging times I had was when we moved here to Fort Myers because we relocated because of my wife's job. So she was doing wonderful. My daughters were doing wonderful. And after I was here about a year, I was called a warehouse manager. However, the only person I managed was myself. So I was in this little warehouse, driving a forklift around, and suddenly I stopped in the middle of the day and I said, wow, so this is my life now. So this is my life. And I hadn't really put roots down the way I would put roots down before. It's easy to move from one place to another when you have a role and you have a sense that when you get there, you're a lot like someone's already dug the hole, they put in good dirt and fertilizer and some Miracle Grow, and boom, you can take off and life is good. But when you get somewhere else and you're not sure what you're going to do with yourself, it gets a lot more challenging. And I've spoken with a lot of residents who've had that notion and that sense. So I want to share with you something that really helped me. It's a focus that the Apostle Paul had, and he said that he was content in any and every circumstance. He said he learned the secret of being content in any and every circumstance. So I said, well, what is that secret? And you read from there on, and it doesn't really say. And so I read through the whole letter that he wrote, and I think his secret is here, and it's in Philippians 3:10. This is his main aim in life, his main goal. And it's the secret of being content no matter what type of situation you're in, because no one can mess it up. No one can get in the way. You can do it no matter where you are. He says, I want to know, that means personally know, not just intellectually know, but I want to personally know and have a relationship sort of knowledge of Christ and the power of his being raised from the dead and the commonality, the sharing of his, and it gets translated as sufferings, but the real term means more like his impulses. I want to know, I want to share, I want to have his sort of impulses so that no matter what happens in life, I would react the way Christ would react. And if that's your goal, then no matter what happens, it really doesn't matter. And he says, I want to become like him even in his death, and somehow then obtaining resurrection from the dead. So if the main goal in life is how can I react, respond, impulsively have a kind of reaction that Jesus has, well, I can't do that on my own. I need his presence working in my life and changing who I am deep within me. And that became a whole new focus, a whole new goal in life, even for me. So a lot of times we get to one place and all the things we've invested ourselves in the past, we can't invest ourselves in them anymore. But what Paul wrote about, that's something different. And just before he talks about how important it was for him to invest in knowing Christ, he says all the things, he makes a good big list of all the things he used to invest his efforts into. He says, now I consider them a write-off. I've written them off, but here's what matters. This is what really counts. So I encourage you, look up Philippians chapter 3, invest yourself in what matters for eternity. This is Scott Eding once again, and thank you for joining me with the Village Church Connections.